are y'all this morning?
Great.
Jim Rich called and said, Randy Weber, do you believe in the First Amendment? I said, absolutely. He said, do you believe in free speech? I said, you bet. He said, good, we want you to give one. I appreciate the opportunity of being here. And Guy, you said over here, I have to refute one thing you said. You said your boss was Robert. I think it's probably Kimberly, isn't it? I'm just trying to keep you out of trouble. Thank you all for being here. I've got my timekeeper in the back. I appreciate y'all getting up. Of course, I am a business owner, member of lots and lots of chambers of commerce, as have been for a long time. And I appreciate what y'all do, and I appreciate y'all getting up and coming here early. For the past 59 years, I've literally called the Gulf Coast home. Many of you know I grew up on the Gulf Coast area, married a gal from Nederland, Texas, Brenda Smith Weber. She's a school teacher. We've been married. We will have been married, Nate, on November the 6th will be our 36th wedding anniversary. So we've been married a long time. Well, give her a hand. Proving that love really is patient and long-suffering on her part. Okay. We grew up on the Gulf Coast, both of us. It's a place where we have raised our family. And before I forget, I want to recognize my oldest son, Keith Weber. Wave over there. Good-looking boy. He gets his looks from his mom. I tell everybody he gets his brains from me. And Nick, when I say that, Brenda always says, yeah, she still has her brains. So I just want y'all to see. Keith, I'm running for Congress because the current administration has put our country into a tailspin. We have the worst economic recession going on right now that we have had since probably the last 70 or more years. And I believe it threatens Americans for generations to come. I think we need to get this country back on track. And folks, I believe that there are two distinctly different visions, or paths, if you will, that this country can embark upon. On November the 6th, our anniversary, you guys and people all across the country, we will all be asked to make a choice on the election day and choose which vision or which path you want your country to take. We can choose the big government Obama Pelosi path. We can choose the current tax and spend path, which has brought us things like Obamacare, for example, which has brought us $16 trillion in unsustainable debt. And is there anybody amongst us that really believes we can continue on that trend much longer? We are staring at a fiscal cliff if we don't get back on track. The current administration has brought us over 8% unemployment for the past 43 months. The current path we're on has provided 1.1 million fewer private sector jobs. 1 out of 4 mortgages are underwater. Median income is down since 2009, and for the first time in our nation's history, our credit rating has been downgraded. Does that give y'all comfort? It doesn't me. We can continue on that path, dare I say, business as usual, or we can choose a path with what I call a conservative vision to repeal Obamacare, lower taxes, cut spending, cut the federal debt, get the federal government out of Americans' lives and get Americans working again. That's my vision. As your next congressman, I will focus on strengthening our economy, getting people back to work by providing tax relief for small businesses. I am a small business owner. I own Weber's Air and Heat, 31 years, built it from scratch. I will focus on cutting burdensome regulations. We did it in the Texas legislature. We fought hard to keep the EPA off our back, job-killing regulations. We wanted our Texans, our Americans, if you will, to be able to go to work and do their job, keep clean air, keep clean water, but do their job. I will focus on cutting those burdensome regulations. And once again, giving business owners like me, like many of you in this room, that assurance that the federal government is not going to be tampering with their lives and with their businesses, and they can invest, we can invest and invest with confidence and get this economy moving again. Part of that, Jim, was y'all asking about the Sabine Neches Waterway. I understand how important it is to this area, how many jobs it creates. We need for the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund to be used for what it was designed to be used for. We need to get Congress, and if this is not good grammar, to start to stopping taking money from accounts that it wasn't designed for. Congress needs to keep its hands off the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund as well as others. As your next congressman, I will work for policies that support domestic energy producers. I was on the Environmental Reg Committee in the Texas legislature where we worked hard for industry. Y'all all know how important the petrochemical industry is in Texas, what a bright shining star Texas is in our economy. I believe that our energy, and we're having a really explosion, as you know, natural gas and fracking energy. I believe that we're on the cusp of an explosion in energy that will not only transform our economy, but also give us energy independence, which translates, in my opinion, to national security. I'm tired of sending money to people that hate us and want to kill us. I know that's not real politically correct, but I'm sorry, we need energy independence. As your next congressman, I will work on repealing Obamacare before it sinks us into deeper deficit. Ruins Medicare. They have robbed from Medicare to pay for Obamacare. I want to repeal Obamacare before it totally ruins Medicare, destroys our health care system, and puts the government in charge of one of the largest sectors of our economy. You know, Ronald Reagan had it right when he said government is not the answer, it's the problem. I intend to provide leadership in securing our borders in our current illegal immigration crisis. I'm vice chairman of the Borders Committee in Texas right now. We've made great strides. Your state of Texas has put a lot of money, manpower, and equipment on the border. Something the federal government should be doing, and I intend to take strides to get that done. Finally, I will aggressively start reducing our national debt by cutting spending, capping the growth of that debt. We did in Texas, $27 billion we reduced our spending. I will seek a balanced budget amendment. Career politicians in Washington, D.C. have put special interests ahead of taxpayers for way too long. We cannot maintain this. With all due respect to my opponent, he said that Congress is dysfunctional in some of his ads. I agree. Congress is dysfunctional. The reality of the problem is Mr. Lamson has been in Congress 5 terms. And now we have a $16 trillion debt. Mr. Lamson wants to be a consensus builder. I applaud him for that. I think that's great. The reality is he's voted with Nancy Pelosi and company about 75% of the time, voted for her for Speaker, endorsed our current president. Nancy Pelosi and company passed the largest health care bill over and above the hue and cry of 70% of Americans. They passed Obamacare with one single Republican vote. Bipartisan? Hardly. That's not a bipartisan bill. And I'm here to tell you that we want to repeal Obamacare. During the campaign, Nick talks like he's from the Gulf Coast, but voting with Nancy Pelosi is more like he's from the West Coast. And I can't condone that. Voters want someone who will vote to cut spending, lower taxes, get government, Obama-Pelosi style, out of our lives, out of our pockets, out of our way, build our families and our businesses once again. As I said, I've lived on the Gulf Coast all my life. Built my business on the Gulf Coast. Weber's Air Conditioning and Heating from scratch, started from scratch. It has not been an easy road. And yes, Mr. President, I did build that business. It has not been an easy road. Y'all know how tough it can be. Challenges ahead are many and they are steep. I had to make hard decisions building my business. Some of you will relate to them. I've had to go without a paycheck so my employees could have a paycheck. We've had the light company show up, knock on our door and say, Mr. Weber, we have to have a check, or we have to turn your power on. We struggled building a business from scratch. It is not an easy road. I'll be honest with you, it won't be an easy road in Congress. I'll shoot straight with you. That's my record in the Texas legislature, shooting straight. In the 4 years that I've been in the Texas legislature, we cut $27 billion in spending. We eliminated waste. We trimmed agencies. We implemented reforms. They were hard decisions, but necessary ones. We need to buckle down and make those hard decisions in Congress and say enough is enough. We cannot keep going like this. Folks, our Texas economy is one of the best in the world. If Texas were a country, our economy is so large, if Texas were a country, it would be the 9th largest country in the world. I worked in your Texas legislature to see that your state of Texas stayed business friendly. I will do that in Congress. One of my proudest accomplishments was authoring and passing landmark legislation to protect women and young children who had become the victims of human trafficking. Our bill gave them a safe haven, access to medical treatment, a path to rehabilitation, and the promise of at least a start on a new life. Texans, for fiscal responsibility, have given me an A+. I received the Courageous Conservative Award and the Champion of Small Business. The NRA has given me their highest rating of A+, and pro-life groups from all across the state have endorsed me. I've been endorsed by the Associated Building Contractors of Texas, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, for my record of helping to sustain business and business growth in Texas and keeping our economy on track, creating more jobs. That's my track record. I'm proud of those awards. But you know what? I was just doing my job. Just looking out for our kids, your kids, my kids, and our grandkids. During this campaign, I meet people and I always ask them one question: are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And resoundingly, Shane, I hear the answer, no. It's that no, Dick, that keeps me going. I'm working because we are not better off than we were 4 years ago. Obamacare, $16 trillion in debt. Unemployment over 8% we talked about. Folks, we cannot keep going down this path. Please work with me to choose a path, a more conservative path, a path to recovery, lower taxes, less spending. Get Americans working again. If you believe, like me, that America cannot sustain this path, if you believe in this country, this greatness, like what my hero Ronald Reagan did, and I do, still do, then please work with me. I ask for your vote on November the 6th to stop the madness and get our country working again. Your kids are worth it. My kids are worth it. My 4 beautiful grandkids, I'm working on Keith to get the 5th one here, are worth it. Your country's worth it. I'm Randy Weber. I appreciate your vote. Thank you.